This is the second video in a series on working mosaic knitting. In the first video, I discussed how to read the chart and how to work mosaic knitting in garter stitch. This video is going to be a demonstration of how to work mosaic knitting in Stockinette. Be sure to check out the first video if you're unfamiliar with reading a mosaic knitting chart, because I describe briefly how to use that. They're very simple. So I've had my base white rows worked here, and I've started across row 1. And I've just slipped the 3 white stitches there. So we're going to work the next 7 stitches. When you're working a right side row, you always slip the yarn with the yarn held to the back. And when you slip the stitches on a wrong side row, you always hold the yarn to the front. So we're slipping this stitch and knit the last stitch. Now here's where the stockinette version of mosaic differs from garter stitch. In garter stitch, you would just knit back across these rows exactly as you had worked them on the first row, slipping the white stitches as you come to them. In stockinette, we're going to do the reverse. We're going to purl the dark stitches and slip the white with the yarn held to the front. So we're going to purl all of these stitches. It's actually quicker for me to do this because you don't have to change the angle of your needle when you're slipping these stitches. You just go straight on into the purling. And when you get to the end of the row, then you're going to start the next right side row with the white color. And I'll show again how to make those color changes. We slip this last stitch, knit this, purl this stitch. So the beginning of row 3 says that we're going to be using the light yarn, so that's what we're going to do. You have the dark yarn, which you just finished using. You leave that to the front. You pick up the light yarn from behind, and now you're ready to work with the light yarn. The yarn just used should be hanging to the front of the work. Now this row says that we need to knit 2 white, slip 1 red. So we're going to knit 2 white, slip 1 red. See, I'm holding the yarn in the back because it's a right side row. Knit the next 5. Then we're going to slip 1, knit 3, slip 1, knit 5, slip 1 and knit 2. And again, when you're doing the wrong side row, you're going to hold the yarn to the front when you slip the stitches, and you're going to just work the stitches as they appear on your needle. You don't have to look at the chart for the wrong side rows. But we're going to purl these instead of knitting them. So we're going to purl, purl, slip, purl, etc. across the row. And you do the red and the white just like that, working both of them using stockinette stitch. This is what the swatch would look like. And comparing that to the garter stitch looks like this. Very different. So the next video will be on working the same stitch pattern using garter stitch and stockinette. Happy knitting!